Alright, we are on the draw in match 1 of this league with Rug Delver. This hand looks great. We've got a couple threats, a cantrip, 3 lands, and a roast. We're going to keep. I almost forgot which keys you're supposed to... Ooh, looks like Lantern. Which hotkeys to hit to pass priority, because I haven't played Magic for about a month. Let's talk about that. I had exams, so I didn't stream for 2 weeks intentionally. Oh, I should keep an eye on what they're milling. That's annoying. And then after that, something came up on the 3rd week when I was going to stream, so I ended up not doing that either, unfortunately. And here we are. I do plan on streaming this Sunday, so this league is more of a makeup, or whatever matches of this league I get through prior to... We don't need to hold up Spell Snare against Lantern. I think we're just going to jam our threats. Yeah. We could pretend we have Mana Leak, but that's silly. This is a makeup league for previous leagues I didn't stream. I do plan on streaming on this Sunday. Let's slam this Goyf. If they have the Ensnaring Bridge, our only hope is Thought Scour into Stubborn Denial. Also, we require them to not have Mox Opal for that. Yeah, they have the bridge. Okay. They still have 4 cards in hand. So we're going to get this Goyf to a 4-5, or as close as we can. They milled a Visions off of us. So we want to use an instant here. That's not fantastic. Can Thought Scour make Tarmogoyf a 5-6? Because that would be a bit of a disaster. Can Thought Scour make Tarmogoyf... Maybe we shouldn't grow it, in the hopes that they can't get many more cards out of their hand. But that seems pretty unlikely. They're going to draw next turn. Maybe putting this to a 3 is where we want to be. We definitely play out this land. If we put Tarmogoyf to 3, we swing for 6. We're hoping that they can't get enough cards to go down to 2 out of their hand next turn. They're going to draw 1, which is nice. Not often I'm happy that the opponent's drawing cards, but here we are. So they're going to go up to 5. They can probably play land plus spell, but Lantern has a lot of cheap spells. I'm actually pretty surprised they didn't do anything on turn 2. But I don't think we can really take that to assume their hand is that clogged. I'm going to assume they're playing at least 2 cards next turn, which means they're easily going to get to 3. So if we grow this to 4, we're almost certainly not attacking with it again, unless we get a Delve threat down. Huh. I do kind of want to crack this. This is tricky. If we grow this to 4, we swing for 7, knock them down to 10. Hopefully Insectile Aberration gets to hit them down to 7 next turn. 7's a lot for Burn to do. If we hit for just 5 here, we're basically doing the same thing even if we hit again, though. So I want to put a card in the bin. If we mill Mishra's Bauble and another card type, I'm going to be very sad. So I think I'm actually just going to start on a Serum Visions here. If we mill enough that Tarmogoyf becomes a 5-6, which is actually quite possible in our deck, our life total is not that relevant, and I definitely want lots of red. Let's start there. Echoing Truth. Oh boy. I forgot I have that in my deck. Whoops. We're gonna cast another Visions. That's awkward because we don't have the blue to cast the Visions I put on top. Probably shouldn't have sequenced it like that. Yeah, we should have had Bolt on top so we could Bolt, get more damage in. We could Scour them. That's not great with an Academy Ruins on board. I'm just gonna hit for a bit here. We're not gonna go full on. We're not gonna put the instant in the bin. That seems like a bad idea. I don't want to scour our Lantern opponent, especially... Ghoul Caller's Bell actually makes me very happy that I put the Serum Visions on top, because that means Lightning Bolt's still there. Mastermind's Acquisition. What is this? 4 mana, tutor something out, put it into your hand, choose a card from your sideboard, put it into your hand. Okay, that's cool. It's a lot of mana, but it's cool. They already have Whir of Invention, so I'm not sure what they're actually looking for with that. Oh, fun fact, Dominaria's out. Forgot about that. Means that new hate card is out. Dampening Sphere, I think. Maybe Damping Sphere, something to that effect. So that should be interesting these days. Collective Brutality. We can snare that, but they know we have snare, because we revealed it. They discarded an ensnaring bridge to it. They are going to take a card. We don't want them to do that because we want to protect our Echoing Truth. So we are going to counter this. Interesting that they intentionally played into that, though. I wonder if they have a better 2 CMC spell they're looking to resolve here. And that makes me sad. They did get us to put an instant in the bin, so it's possible that was their game plan. They're going to Ghost Quarter their own land, probably to get a black source. Maybe blue. I think black. Lantern plays more black than blue, I believe. Thoughtseize, that's rough. Well, we can't stop it. We can still find Snapcaster Mage, and we still have 2 Traverse in our deck, so we are not out of this game. Not even close, actually. We have outs. We don't usually have outs in this matchup, but we have outs. Another Tarmogoyf. We're probably going to end up playing that. We're going to start off with a Serum Vision, see what we can find. Lands. Actually, you know what? I want one of these. Probably the Forest. Then again, they're likely going to end up milling a card. We can probably find lands. Yeah, let's bottom these. I'm going to play out a Tarmogoyf. I want to get down lethal so that we can snap Echoing Truth. That's going to make our life much more difficult. We do have 2 Thought Scours. Stubborn Denial, not fantastic. Traverse the Ulvenwald is amazing. If they tap that Ghoul Caller's Bell, we might go for that. I did say I don't like milling the opponent, but slight caveat here. If it's good for you, do it anyways. We're going to draw Traverse the Ulvenwald. We do need to hit another land soon. That is a requirement. Alright, that's a land. Let's do it, opponent. We're going to hold on to this Stubborn Denial to protect our Traverse from Thoughtseize effects. Ensnaring Bridge. I don't care about that. Echoing Truth. That's the upside. Into the Royal. Echoing Truth. Vraska's something. No, it shows Vraska on the card. I don't think it actually names Vraska. I don't remember. I'm gonna be honest. I do not remember. Stubborn Denial actually isn't the worst. We're gonna shock here. I'm not going to press the issue on this Traverse yet, in case they somehow force a Thoughtseize through after we resolve it. Wait, no, I do want to force the issue on this. Oh, that's rough. We want to get our Snapcaster Mage now so we can just kill them immediately next turn, because we need 4 mana to go snap Echoing Truth. But I also don't want to take the Snapcaster Mage out of our deck in case they have an answer to it. I'm going to do it anyways, though. Wow, that window's small. 1 Snapcaster Mage coming to the hand. I should have double-checked Delirium, but fortunately we have it. Oh, that's the top, okay. Oh, that's why the window was small. That makes sense. Alright, that's fine. We're going to hold up our Instant Speed Draw and our Stubborn Denial. Pass over to the opponent. We no longer care about the top of our deck, so that's good. Ancient Stirrings could be good for the opponent, theoretically. Yep, Codex Shredder, fine. Now, the opponent knows we have Echoing Truth in the graveyard, and they know we have a Snapcaster Mage here, so I think they know what's up. We have a Lightning Bolt on top of our deck. Is there a way for the opponent to get out of this? I feel like there is. Fatal Push. Fatal Push is a very good way for them to get out of this. I haven't noticed a Fatal Push on top of their deck recently, though. I should have been paying more attention to that so that I would know for sure. Why is... The card gets a lot bigger than the window does. The card grows at a higher rate than the window, and that bothers me. I think we're going to go for it. We may as well use that. We're not casting any green spells. Double blue. It's not going to be relevant, but completeness sake. Is that Echoing Truth? That is Echoing Truth. I would love for that Snapcaster Mage trigger to resolve. Thank you very much. They have Surgical. We got. We got. Oh, okay. Well, we tried. I believe we scoop. We can't... No, we don't scoop yet. We don't scoop yet. Soon. Soon enough. Soon enough. But we're not dead yet. Not yet. Still another Snapcaster Mage. Still another Traverse. Granted, it's going to be a lot harder to get through that with those two mill rocks. Well, there's the land. That's awkward. Maybe I should have waited. I'm not sure. Don't like the idea of waiting too long, though. We're not going to cast that Thought Scour because it's pretty well our only way to fight the opponent if they try to mill away a Snapcaster Mage or a Traverse the Ulvenwald. Now they're just finding more mill rocks. Chances are we're not going to win this game, but we're not out of it. Really unfortunate that they had the Thoughtseize and then the Surgical. Do we play out the Tarmogoyf? There's not much of a reason not to play out the Tarmogoyf. I imagine they're going to mill away that Mandrills. No. Okay, so our opponent's playing very conservatively. Probably safe to mill there. I feel like it's safe to mill there. I would need a lot of good cards on top. Maybe they're playing around me having 4 Snapcaster Mages. That's possible. Do we play the Mandrills? We can't shrink the Goyfs down to 1. It's not relevant. It's more trouble than it's worth casting that Hooting Mandrills. Yep. Mana Leak. That's not great for us. I believe our opponent's just going to play conservatively enough that we can't find a window. Pixis. How many mill rocks is that now? Just 3? And Lantern? 3 plus Lantern. So they have 4 shots to get rid of something good. I think we're going to scoop. I'd rather we actually enjoy the match. Alright, how are we going to sideboard against Lantern? I did not bring up my spreadsheet ahead of time, so if a bunch of... Okay, good for me. File Explorer is on the other monitor. We will be seeing Excel shortly, though. I apologize in advance. That one. Alright, let's get that out of the way. Lantern. Where is Lantern? There we go. Alright, what comes in? A lot of stuff, as you can probably imagine. We want Artifact Hate. We want Huntmaster to win through bridges. I believe we... Ooh, new border. Oh, that's nice. That is very, very nice. I like that they implemented that onto the Magic Online cards even after they were out. That's very, very nice. Counter Magic, Spreading Seas and Blood Moon, I believe I want a non-zero amount of, but I couldn't say how much. 2 moon, 1 seas. Ceremonious rejection is great. I believe those 4 are staying out, but I could be wrong. 1 blood moon, sweeper, sweeper, basilisk collar. Cool. Those are coming in. We are not going to board in a bunch of cards extra and not board stuff out in an attempt to beat the mill game. Nux, 1 visions. I don't love visions against decks that can mill. Gets a lot worse. Forked bolt, lightning bolt. 2 bolts to be specific. 2 of the actual bolts, I should say. Otherwise, that's going to get very confusing. Roast, dismember, and 2 spell snares. I wonder if you should actually be boarding out the spell snares. They did a non-zero amount of work in that game, and they are pretty good. I don't think Lantern plays enough 2s, though. That's 9 cards. Alright, let's see if I lost the ability to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 9. And 11. Alright. That sideboard plan is not correct. Let's take out an additional visions. And I don't really want to take out any more bolt effects. Ah, that's rough. Maybe Obsession. No, Obsession's kind of good. I'm going to drop another Visions. I don't know what I'm supposed to cut there. Visions is kind of good, kind of bad. That hand's not a keep. No. We can cast Goyf and EE. Something. That's a keep. Mostly on the back of Visions, which is kind of awkward because I boarded out several. Let's bottom those. I don't think, given more time, I would board like that, though. We're not going to play around our Blood Moon, so let's get a Breeding Pool here and make the Serum Visions as good as we can. Third land isn't the worst, but I would very much like to find a threat. Echoing Truth, also a very good card in this matchup, but we have a lot more cards that do that job post-board. Sure. That's going to strip away some answers. On the bright side, they're not taking a threat. Bobble, sure. Land. Do I want to show them that? It's not really necessary to hold up Mana Leak at this point of the game, so I think I'm just going to play a land tapped. I think that makes sense. I don't want to hold up Lightning Bolt here. That seems silly. The opponent's at 19. Mana Leak on 2 isn't fantastic. If I expected them to get a Mox Opal down and active, I could see wanting to hold up Mana Leak. Okay, well, they could do so. Do they have it? It certainly wasn't likely given the information we had before. Collective Brutality. That's another thing I could see carrying to Mana Leak, but it looks like they're just going to take the Mana Leak with it, so that's not really relevant. They found out about the Foothills. Sure. What do we got? Alright. We have a threat. We have Delver Scry. The opponent's probably going to resolve an Ensnaring Bridge here. But what are you going to do? At least they don't have Lantern or Mill Rocks. Sure. That makes Snapcaster Mage... That means I'm going to give up Delver Scry here and just get this Snapcaster Mage down. We're going to ambush Viper real quick. I want another red source, I think, even though we don't have Snap Bolt available. Let's get that down. Ceremonious Rejection is very good in this matchup. We'll pick that. Come on, Delver. EE. We could put that on 0. That doesn't seem great. No, we probably just save that. Let's hit for 3. Do I want to play that? If we put it on 0, they sack the welding jar to save the Mox Opal. If we put it on 1... Well, actually, they might not even decide... No, they would because... Okay, if it's on 0, they save the Mox Opal. If it's on 1, they may or may not save the cage because the welding jar wouldn't get blown up with it. They might decide to save the jar for ensnaring bridge. I think we just want to hold on to the EE until we find another piece of artifact hate in case there's a bridge in the future. Oh, I hate periphery nodes with a burning passion. Usually you only see it out of white enchantment decks. This card is very annoying. Alright, so pretty soon we're not going to have threats. Whether or not Delver transforms is going to inform our decision as to which one of these we give up first. Then again, we have Delver Scry now, so maybe the Delver is slightly more valuable than the Snapcaster Mage. Let's hit for another 3. Oh, did they choose? Oh, it's the least power. Well, I did not read that card properly. We don't have Delver Scry. We do have Mishra's Baubles. Goyf. Hopefully they don't have an... Wow. I flubbed that real hard. Hopefully they do not have an answer to our Snapcaster Mage so that it can... I also could have... Yeah, but that takes a while. I'm thinking I could have theoretically let the Snapcaster Mage die here. Periphery nodes would go away, and then I play out the Tarmogoyf. That takes a little longer, though. I could play EE on 1 and I am just not able to talk today. I can play EE on 1 to blow up this periphery nodes so that Tarmogoyf may survive. We're going to do that. We can always fetch shock for a steam vent if I decide to bolt immediately, so that's okay. Our life total's still not very relevant. We're going to see if they want to save that Grafdigger's Cage. They do, in fact. However, that's not the card we actually care about. Oh, hey. Enchantment in the graveyard. Should have done that pre-combat. Ancient Stirrings. That's fine. Can you find Ensnaring Bridge? They could not. Let's go to game 3. Okay. We have nearly 3 minutes to figure out how to get some of these back in the deck. I think I'm going to keep 1 out. Can we get more? Counter magic is good. I'm going to try to separate the cards that seem less good. I don't want to dump any counters. Or do I? How many counters do I have? Let's sort. We're going to sort. Answers to bridge once it's resolved. Those cards are very good. Let's get Click and the counter magic in a pile. Land Hate can go somewhere. We're going to consolidate all the threats. Snapcaster Mage is kind of in a class of its own. Snapcaster Mage can go with Traverse the Ulvenwald. More counters. Cantrips. Threats were here. Where are we going to put these burn spells? They can go here, I guess. These are cantrips. Okay. I can work with this. Alright. So, we only have 8 ways of interacting with the stack and hand, so I don't think we're cutting any of those. 13 threats definitely are not getting trimmed. How do we have 13 threats? Oh, okay, yes. 11 of the core threats. That makes sense. 3 mandrills. Alright. I was neglecting the fact that Click and Snapcaster Mage are technically threats. I was expecting them to be in this column for a second. These we're not getting rid of. I think it is Obsession. Obsession is kind of a cantrip, so that makes some sense. It's also pretty good. I think I'm happy with getting rid of that. They have enough ways to interact with our hand and top of our deck that I don't mind dumping that. It's not going to be a good top deck. And on the draw, I feel like we're going to end up in a top deck where maybe it's one of these pieces of land hate. They do have a lot of colorless stuff. And we haven't seen any abrupt decays yet, but I'm still assuming they play a couple. I'd love to be able to turn off Whir of Invention, in which case maybe we just drop Spreading Seas, get the third Visions back in. We could do something like that. Although I kind of like Spreading Seas more than Blood Moon, just because it draws a card, which is great. Also, you can play it on 2, and it doesn't screw up our own mana. Let's do that. This hand is bad. It has a lot of good cards. We can't cast any of them. We can cast EE. This hand is also bad, but it has a cantrip and Ceremonious Rejection. Do I want Vendilion Click? Probably not. I'd like a threat that doesn't come down on turn 3. Forest Stirrings, that's pretty good. Our opponent is having a better start than we are. And they found a bridge. Okay. We, on the other hand, found a land. I know they're playing Thoughtseize, but I think I'm going to do this right away. No, I'm not. We're going to grab a Steam Vents. We'll decide that later. Now that it's their turn, and we won't draw the card Delver. That's fine, I like Delver. Now that we won't draw the card in time for them to Thoughtseize it, we're going to bobble. Blooming Marsh, Thoughtseize. Well, I don't know if they would rather take Delver than Ceremonious Rejection, but we certainly saved that Delver from a very cruel fate. Kudos to us. So they have Bridge plus Inventor's Fair. That's pretty good. That is a very nice border. I am on board with that legendary border. I don't think I shuffle away Delver in the hopes of finding a counterspell. Could have cracked this right there, though. That might have been better. Let's pay shock and put Delver down. Inventor's Fair, probably Bridge. They know a very good portion of our hand. If I were them, I would just jam it. And they did. Welding Jar. Well, that's going to be a pain. Let's keep Delver Scry up. We're going to want to be able to sift through this deck. Delver of Secrets. No, I don't want that. Don't think we need 3 mana, so I don't mind getting a land tapped. Let's grab another red source. What do we got? Thought Scour, okay. That's not so bad. Let's poke the opponent. This is going to be one hell of an uphill battle. And pretty soon they're going to be gaining 1 life a turn off of Inventor's Fair. That's fine. We just need to find 2 ways of dealing with Ensnaring Bridge before they find more Ensnaring Bridges. EE on 1. You got it. Can't stop that. We're going to go for Delver Scry again. I kind of want to hold on to this Thought Scour if possible for instant speed draw. Tarmogoyf. I do want to draw that. We're going to need that. I'm not happy to have it right now, but if ever we deal with Ensnaring Bridge and whatever future bridges they have, I'm going to wish I had that Tarmogoyf. They're going to blow up Delver. Yep. We grab a basic forest, put Tarmogoyf down, and we're going to slog. Oh, how we will slog. On the bright side, the opponent's clock is very slow. If we do deal with all the Ensnaring Bridge effects, their life gain won't be super relevant. No Lantern, please. Do not find Lantern. Don't pass go. We have another fetch, so fetching here is not the worst. We still have the ability to play with our scries if it comes up. So I think we're gonna thin. Okay. Okay. Traverse ain't great. We can grab a Huntmaster of the Fells and put it down immediately. Which is not nothing. It is certainly not nothing. Or we hope that we put these two together, get a Snapcaster Mage, mill Echoing Truth, and go to town. That doesn't seem that likely. I'm going to go with the Huntmaster play. Let's grab a basic island. I don't really like either line of play, to be quite honest. But we're going to do what we can and hope it's good enough. Let's put this guy down. Inventor's Fair going to be very relevant with the Huntmaster clock. Maybe that makes it so that I absolutely should not go for the Huntmaster play. That's entirely possible. Second Ensnaring Bridge. Alright. Click. That's not so bad. That is not so bad. We're not going to cast anything. We probably want to click on their turn. Oh, and they're going to draw plenty of cards, so we're going to have our choice. Yes. I wonder if time's actually going to be a factor. We still have 9 minutes. There's no way the opponent's going to time out, but we actually might. Cancel. We want them to draw a card first. Wait for it. Click. Blue. Do we need green? We're not going to need green. And we could Tarfire them to transform the Huntmaster back. Welding Jar, Pithing Needle. I don't have a lot of activated abilities, so let's get rid of Elmer Fudd up in here. Let's get rid of the Welding Jar. Not likely that we win through that avenue, and we found them a Lantern of Insight. Maybe I shouldn't have done anything. Winning by Huntmaster seems very unlikely, though. I'm going to Tarfire them. Might actually get rid of this, but they have Mill Rock, so we're probably not going to draw anything good anyways. We could do 2 off of Huntmaster. That's not the worst. Yeah, I actually kind of like that. We'll just pass the turn. Another Thought Scour. I could see them milling that. Ooh, that's something they're going to want to get rid of. Probably should have gone for it there. Yes, it looks like we're already yielding to Huntmaster transformation triggers, which is nice. We actually might time out here. Our turns are taking far too long. Blood Moon's not good. We're not drawing Blood Moon. Not if we have a choice in the matter. Let's mill. We are speeding up our opponent's clock, but I don't think that's that relevant. Mandrill's Lightning Bolt. Well, Bolt is something. Bolt is certainly something. I don't think we're going to win. Gotta say, I don't think we're going to win. We have a 7-8 Tarmogoyf. Just waiting on that Echoing Truth to miraculously show up. Maybe I shouldn't have gone for the Ravager play. If we got the Snapcaster Mage, sooner or later we probably would have been able to bounce a bunch of things. Pixis of Pandemonium, sure. That's going to make Echoing Truth a lot worse because they can stop us from letting it go to the graveyard. I believe we're just going to lose this, unfortunately. Not finding ways of casting 2 spells unless we counter our own lightning bolt. I guess I could cast this. We can't shrink the Tarmogoyf nearly enough, so let's just tap stuff. None of this matters. Put that guy down. We have a lot of power on board. Unfortunately, the chances of us just happening to draw Echoing Truth through all of this is just not going to happen. We do get to hit them for 2 a turn. 2 every couple of turns, probably closer to every 3 or 4. That's not nearly fast enough. Is that worth countering? Probably not. Periphery nodes. We have a lot of threats. Periphery nodes is going to take 6 or 7 turns to actually deal with our board. So I probably just don't care about it. Bolt is going to get milled away, but at least we can use Misty to potentially save something. Bobble probably ends up getting milled as well. This, target you. I would be hitting 6 right now, but we have a Stubborn Denial, and I cannot, in good conscience, pass with that counter spell up. We're just going to counter this. It's not that likely we find much better, and we're going to need threats if we find Echoing Truth, which is pretty much our way of winning this game, plus we get to do this now. I apologize for how boring this has been, but what are you going to do? It's that or we just scoop entirely. It's not all that unlikely that we scoop entirely soon. Then again, you guys don't have to watch this if you don't want, so really I'm the only one who's suffering here. So I think I can allow myself to suffer in good conscience. Now they're gonna gain life. This isn't fun magic. Have I ever mentioned that I hate this card? It's probably my least favorite in the game. Pithing Needle, sure. Oh, it's gonna name Mishra's Bauble. Then again, they have their own Mishra's Baubles, so maybe they name this. No, they did it. They did the thing. Alright. Let's get a Stomping Ground. We have a lot of life because of Huntmaster. That's nice. I'm gonna scoop. We're not winning this anytime soon. They have enough of a lock. Alright. Well, that was a fun first match, but we're going to hop into another one right here, so that's okay. We'll make up for it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you got some amount of enjoyment out of that video. I don't think I could realistically expect many people to actually have enjoyed it, but we won game 2. That was cool, and we almost took game 1, so there's that. I'll see you all in the next one.